Put your hand.
The meeting will come to order. Before we start the meeting, we'd like to have the Pledge of Allegiance led by Lieutenant Randall. If you'd all stand, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. The following matters will come before the Revere License Commission today. This is our regularly scheduled meeting. This meeting has been previously filed with the city clerk. The first item on the agenda is the approval of minutes of January 15th, 2024. Would anybody like to make a motion to approve these minutes?
I can make a motion to approve.
I second that.
Very good. The minutes of the January 15th meeting, 2024, is approved. The next item on the agenda is our application submitted for consideration. The item number one is Motive Action Wellness Club, LLC, DBA Motive Action, 220 Broadway. Julicia Zarofalina is the manager. I'm sorry if I mispronounced your name. This is an application for an entertainment license. The application of Motive Action Wellness Club to be exercised at 320 Broadway as part of a fitness center operation. The requested entertainment is widescreen cable TV and recorded music. Your name and address for the record, please. The button in front.
Little face on it.
There you go. Thank you.
Hello,
Yes.
my name is Gelusia Zarifulina, or Julia, and address 495 Revere Beach Boulevard, apartment 2, Revere, and the business address is 220 Broadway, Revere.
Thank you very much. And what would you like to do with this entertainment license?
So my name is Julia, and I'm one of the owners of the Motive Action. That is a boutique gym we are opening right here in Broadway, and we are here to request an entertainer's license to be able to enhance our classes with some music and to be able to hold some occasional fitness events.
Very good. Thank you very much for that. Do any of my fellow commissioners have any questions?
No questions for me.
Is the business already in operation?
Not yet. We are in the process of build out, almost.
Very good. We'll close this part of the hearing. Are there any proponents or anybody that would like to speak on behalf of the entertainment license for Motive Action Wellness Club? We don't see or hear anybody. We'll close that section. Is there anybody opposed? Anybody opposed to the issuing of this license? You don't see or hear anybody. We'll close that section. Would you like to discuss this further, or would you like to make a motion?
I can make a motion to approve.
Very good. The motion is approved. The application for an entertainment license for Motive Action Wellness Club, LLC, is approved. The license will be exercised at 220 Broadway as part of the fitness center operation. The entertainment is widescreen cable TV and recorded music. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Item number 2, Hot Dog Ow Ow Corp., DBA Boss Hot Dogs, 750 Washington Avenue. Eleni Almeida de Oliveira is the manager. This is an application for a change of hours. The application of Hot Dog Ow Ow Corp. To change of hours to Monday through Wednesday, 7 a.m. to 12 a.m., Thursday through Sunday, 7 a.m. to 3 a.m. Current operating hours are Sunday through Saturday, 4 p.m. to 12 a.m. Your name and address for the record, please, gentlemen.
My name is Francisco Filo. My address is 1251 Sailor Street, Malden, Mass. The place is 750 Washington Road and Revere, Mass.
Okay.
Name is Victor Faria. Live at 197 Reservoir Avenue in Revere, apartment 1.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. Can you explain briefly what you'd like to do and, what you'd like to do with the change of hours?
Porque a gente quer fazer o breakfast e lunch.
He explained to me that he would like to expand the business hours because he would like to implement breakfast and lunch to the business.
Okay, I see that really the only change that you're looking for is Thursday through Sunday to stay open till 3 a.m. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Do any of my fellow commissioners have any questions?
Yeah, I'm a bit concerned, at 3 AM, so in addition to, you have a full menu, I assume, in your business, right?
Yep.
Why is there an interest to stay open all the way till 3 AM?
Porque a gente pega alguns clientes nesse horário.
He explains to me because he receives a lot of orders at those times, at 1 a.m., 2 a.m., and yes.
Depois da meia-noite ainda tem ordens.
Yeah, and after midnight, he has a lot of increasing orders, demands.
I understand, so you're expecting to continue to serve until 3 AM? Is that your plan?
2 a.m. 2 or 3.
So you expect to continue to serve until 2 AM,
Yeah.
but you'll close at 3?
Yeah.
Is it more of a takeout list?
Yes,
or
more
is it
takeout. Yes,
okay.
more takeout.
What other food do you serve besides, what is it, hot dogs?
Hot dog, hamburgers, some like chicken wings, some appetizers.
Do you have seating in the restaurant?
Yes.
Uh,
And how many people are able to sit in there?
25 at the most.
I think it's a 24 seat.
Yeah, sort of. Who's the old Chinese place, that restaurant that closed?
Yeah,
China Garden? was
yeah,
over
something
there.
like that, yeah.
They took it over.
Well, my concern is that opening 3 a.m.
Yeah.
is, I mean, that's kind of a residential area. There is a condo building right next door to it, right?
Yes. Yeah.
And I'd be concerned that, the noise factor would be an issue. Would you have any problems with closing it a little earlier on a Sunday?
No, I can close a little early on the Sunday. Actually, especially got it like Saturday to a little late.
Thinking like a Friday and Saturday. I know that your application is requesting Thursday through Sunday, but I share those same concerns. I think that I wouldn't oppose, or even I wouldn't object to at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning on a Friday and Saturday, which seems more appropriate.
Yep.
And it gives you the extra 2 hours to continue to service your customers. Obviously, I want you to succeed and do well.
Yep.
But it is, it is a highly residential area. And it's a bit concerning that you want to stay open till 3 a.m. So I think that, at least, obviously, we'll hear from anyone else that's here, whether for or against, but even if you get approved for it, see how it works out, and then if you feel like it's still restrictive, then you can always come back, right? So,
Yeah, okay, then.
close the section.
Do you have any questions or concerns that you want to address right now?
I think I agree with Dan. I think Sunday is pushing it a little bit with it being a residential area.
Okay.
Okay, sir, well, that's this discussion. Let me just open it up to the floor and see what other people think. We'll close this part of the hearing. Are there any proponents or anybody would like to speak on behalf of the change of hours for Boss Hot Dogs? We don't see or hear anybody. We'll close that section. Is there anybody opposed? Is there anybody opposed to the increase of hours? We don't see or hear anybody. We'll close that section. Well, just as a general discussion, I think we are kind of all in agreement that we want to preserve the quiet time for the neighborhood at night.
Yep.
And so if we were to vote to expand the hours, I'm thinking that Friday and Saturday would be appropriate. Would you be amenable to that? So if a motion was made to increase the hours on Friday and Saturday to 3 a.m., would you be all right with that? Is that something that you can?
Yep.
Okay, well, so I would make a substitute motion that we increase the hours on Friday and Saturday to 3 a.m. And the rest of the hours would be as they are currently.
Oh, 7 a.m. Yeah, Monday through Wednesday, it would just be Monday through Wednesday, 7 a.m. Well, Monday through Thursday, 7 a.m. to 12 a.m.
Yes. And the only,
Que nós temos de 4 a meia-noite. Quer fazer mais?
yes, every day till 12 except for Friday and Saturday.
Right, the 7 a.m. part is what we have to put in the motion.
Oh, I see, the current operating hours are 4 p.m. Okay, I'm sorry about that. So yes, we would expand your hours to 7 a.m.
Yep.
opening, close at 12 a.m. Monday through Thursday.
Okay.
And then on Friday and Saturday, you can stay open till 3 a.m.
Okay.
So it'd be Sunday through Thursday, right?
Yep.
Okay. So the motion would be Sunday through Thursday, 7 a.m. to 12 p.m. Friday and Saturday, 7 a.m. to 3 a.m. And we'll see how that goes. If people complain and, you have to be respectful of your neighbors. If you see people hanging around your parking lot, you need to move them along. You can't have people out there with their radios on or any stuff like that because you're going to create problems at that point.
Okay. Yes, I received calls like the inspector. He see somebody call him and have the place open like at 2 in the morning, but I never have that trouble over there. I know have like they had like a salon upstairs after the place, and the people use over there in the night times for make a parties. I don't know how him do over there. Sometimes we have some noise, but upstairs.
Well, we didn't receive any complaints about your business, so obviously just continue to operate within the rules that are set with your license, and you should be fine.
Okay.
All right?
All right. Thank you.
Good luck to you.
All right, so I would make a motion that the hours go from Sunday through Thursday, 7 a.m. to 12 p.m., Friday and Saturday, 7 a.m. to 3 a.m.
I'd second that motion.
Very good. The motion is approved. Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you.
Item number 3, Perciato Brothers LLC, DBA La Cantina, 2024, 488 Broadway. Omar Perciato is the manager. This is an application for a change of hours. Is there anybody here from La Cantina? If we don't see or hear anybody, we will table that and move on to item number 4. Item number 4. Nidal Budu Singh, sorry about that. DBA Singh's Roadie Shop 2, 76 Revere Beach Boulevard. Nandal Budu Singh is the manager. This is an application for a common victualer's license. The application will be exercised at 76 Revere Beach Boulevard. Requested seating is 16. The requested hours are Sunday through Saturday, 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. Your name and address for the record, please, sir?
Pleasant good day to the panel. My name is Ricky Singh. They can call me Ricky Singh, but my full name is Nandlal Budu Singh.
Okay, thank you. I'm sorry if I mispronounced your name.
No problem. My address is 14 Kingman Ave in Revere.
Very good. And can you tell us what you'd like to do with this common victualer's license?
So, the license is for the 76 Revere Beach Boulevard, and we're going to be doing Caribbean-style cuisine on the beach, from the islands of Trinidad and Tobago, Jamaica, Barbados. We're bringing that type of food to that location.
Very good. And that's the place, that's the stand right next to Bill Ash's Lounge?
That's right.
Right, the Wicked Eats, it used to be, I think.
Yeah.
So they closed.
Well, good. Well, that sounds like it's going to be exciting.
That's exciting for Revere.
If you may, I brought a couple of menus
I
for
would
the
love to
panel.
see it.
Okay.
Are you gonna have some traditional roti from?
That's correct.
Oh, awesome!
Yes.
Some curry and that's pretty exciting. I will be a frequent customer.
Thank you very much.
And you know what's good? There's nothing like this. in
Right,
Revere.
right. I have been in business for the past 22 years. I have an existing location in Dorchester called Singh's Roti. So that's a little history about myself. Yes.
And I assume it's family owned and
Right,
Right, yeah.
right. So my kids grew up in this business, and it's a family-based business. And we do have some extra helping out where it's necessary.
And why'd you choose Revere?
Oh, I lived in Revere, and it was the ultimate dream.
Okay.
This is what we wanted to do. You may not know me now, but I have been participating in the Revere Beach Sand Sculpture Festival for the last 15 years. I am the pineapple and coconut guy on that beach.
Okay.
Yes.
We all know that.
So now we're bringing the team of Trinidad, Barbados, Jamaica on that beach.
Oh, that's awesome.
And we're bringing you food like jerk chicken, curry chicken, rotis, beef patties,
Hopefully some oxtail, right?
oxtail. So we're super excited. I know the city of Revere, every day I'm getting 15 to 20 phone calls every day. When we're going to open? When is this going to happen? So we are excited as the residents of Revere.
That's awesome.
Very good. Well, it sounds like it's a worthwhile venture. Does anybody else have any other questions?
So when are you looking to open?
Well, the restaurant is ready. We're going through the with health department and building department right now. We're ready. It's already was slated after this meeting. By the end of this month, we should be ready to have a how you call it, a smooth opening, to weed out all the type of problems we're gonna have for winter time. So, yeah,
So when the next site opens?
I would like to open at the end of February.
Okay, awesome.
Yes.
And I suspect you will, as you get closer to summer, you will be changing those hours because 9 o'clock is not gonna.
That's right.
Especially on the beach.
That's right,
That's
yes.
Too close to.
That was my next question. Will I have to come in front of you
will.
guys to do that again?
Yes.
So, yes.
All right. So
Okay, very good. Well, Let's close this part of the hearing. Are there any proponents? Is anybody else that would like to speak on behalf of Singh's Roti Shop 2? We don't see or hear anybody. Close that section. Is there anybody opposed? Anybody opposed to the issuing of this common victuals license? We don't see or hear anybody. We'll close that section. Would you like to discuss this more or make a motion?
And I can make a motion to approve.
And I'd gladly accept.
Very
that
good.
motion.
The application for a common victuals license for Singh's Roti Shop 2 is approved. The application will be exercised at 76 Revere Beach Boulevard. The requested seating is 16. The requested hours are Sunday through Saturday, 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. Thank you very much, sir. Good luck.
Thank you, guys.
Item number 5, AAM Kelly's Revere LLC, DBA Kelly's Roast Beef Revere, 410 Revere Beach Boulevard. Frank Carolyn is the manager. This is an application for a transfer of a common victuals license. The application for a transfer for Kelly's Roast Beef, from Kelly's Roast Beef, the said license to be exercised at 410 Revere Beach Boulevard. The requested hours are Sunday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 11 p.m. The requested seating is 24 outside seats.
Yes.
Your name and address for the record, please.
Lisa Whiteman, 9 Magnolia Way, apartment 932, up in Peabody, Massachusetts.
Very good.
Jim Rattay, Kelly's Roast Beef. My home address is 3 Wayne Ave, Ipswich, Massachusetts.
Thank you very much. Ma'am, can you tell us what your plans are for this transfer? You're going to be keeping things the same, or?
Yes, everything is going to stay the same, the establishment name. Frank is the general manager of the restaurant. He will be staying on board. All the same associates are re-tip certified, anti-choke, and allergen awareness. We've gotten approval from all the departments on all the inspections and all the sign-offs, and just keeping everything status quo, just change of ownership.
Upgrade the menu a little bit at all?
That'll be a Jim question.
Jim?
Eventually, yes.
A little bit, I think we're gonna keep all the things that move really well, and that we've been selling forever. I've been there for 44 years.
Okay.
So we'll keep the beef and the seafood, but we'll try to bring in some new stuff and take out the stuff that's a slow mover.
And another thing we're doing is, he brought me some lunch for later. We're trying to improve things for when they take it out, especially since this is a takeout. We're getting new containers that will keep the food hot longer, whereas has always been an issue in the past that we've heard. So we're definitely going to make improvements to grow the business more.
My question to you is, so currently, right now, I don't know if this is a gym question, but you have outdoor seating currently, right?
Yes,
Correct.
So what do you have now?
they're just basically round benches.
Right, so you want, are you gonna put tables out, or?
No, they're actually bolted to the ground. We
Bolted.
already have
Right,
those.
so it's the same, right? It's the same,
Nothing's changed.
Nothing's changing.
right, because the 24 number, I was like, are you looking to increase or just keep things the same?
No, there's
Keep-
there's just tables of 6 that are
I see.
presently bolted down. Keep it exactly the same.
So how many tables are outside?
There's 6 tables that could seat between 6 and 8 people per.
I see, okay, that makes sense, okay, all right, that's what I was wondering. All right, that's all I have.
Very good. Do you have any other questions?
No questions?
Okay, I think we have covered that. Let me just close this part of the hearing. Are there any proponents? Is there anybody that would like to speak on behalf of the transfer of this common victuals license? We don't see or hear anybody. We'll close that section. Is there anybody opposed? Anybody opposed to the transfer? We don't see or hear anybody. We'll close that section. Would you like to discuss this further, or do you want to make a motion?
I'd certainly move to approve the transfer of the common vicular license for Kelly's.
I'll
Roast Beef.
second that.
Very good. The application for a transfer of the common victuals license for AAM Kelly's Revere LLC, DBA Kelly's Roast Beef is approved. The application will be exercised, the license will be exercised at 410 Revere Beach Boulevard. The requested hours are Sunday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 11 p.m. The requested seating is 24 outside seats. Thank you very much. Good luck.
Thank you both. I would thank you all.
Yeah, best of luck.
Thank you.
Item number 6, Gibson Point Restaurant LLC, DBA Mila's, 1 Gibson Way, Suite 131. Michael Aldi is the manager. This is an application for an all-alcohol restaurant license. The application for Gibson Point Restaurant to be exercised at 1 Gibson Way, Suite 131. The requested hours are Sunday through Saturday, 7 a.m. to 12 a.m. Requested seating is 89 inside and 50 outside. The requested entertainment is a widescreen cable TV, radio, DJ, amplifiers, karaoke, vocal and instrumental music, and dancing by patrons. Your name and address for the record, please, sir.
My name is Demick O'Brien. Address is 35 Lakeshore Court in Boston.
Very good. Can you explain what you'd like to do with the Mila's?
So Redgate, the large building concern in Boston, who is building quite a bit of these apartment buildings all over the city, all over the greater Boston area, had an idea for a concept for a coffee shop restaurant similar to Tradesman on Broad Street in Boston. They approached us, as we own 3 restaurants in Revere, with the idea that we would know how to operate them better than anyone else that they had known. So basically what we're looking at is coffee shop, bakery in the morning, a lot of grab and go coffee. We also want to, complement the amount of work from home spaces that the new building does have. Be able to have that. We'll have high-speed Wi-Fi in the building, outside everything. And then it transitions over in the afternoon to a bar restaurant. Their building, if you haven't been there before, is very health-focused. They have a wellness epicenter within the building. So the menu is slightly more healthy than, say, like the Drift or Fine Line menu that we currently have. We're working in tandem with the building to provide cold pressed juices, smoothies, and whatnot to order for the residents in the building. The idea ultimately is they want this to work because they're going to be building, I think they said 13 buildings in the greater Boston area in the next 5 to 10 years is their plan, and they want to make this as an amenity in all of their buildings. So the test case for us is the new Gibson Point apartment building.
Very good. Do my fellow commissioners have any questions?
I do. So I know you very well, obviously, and I know how you run your restaurants, and I certainly, I think you do a great job whenever you're on site.
Thank you.
I have to answer that. I have to emphasize that. However, I do have some concerns with this current application in light of some of the issues that we've had at one of your recent restaurants, especially when it comes to your request for the entertainment part of your license. Part of that concern is obviously I think what you plan to do with the core of the restaurant itself is great.
Sure.
I think it'll be a great thing for Revere, especially for the residents that are going to be residing in that building. However, when I delve into your entertainment request, it seems to me that when that transition happens, it might turn into something that's what's going on the beach at the moment.
So what I would
So
say,
what's the difference there?
what I would say is a lot of the furniture within Mila's is like permanently affixed, so there's not a whole lot of movement within.
Mm-hmm.
The building wants to partner with us on a lot of resident events.
Mm-hmm.
So the ability to have like the residents come down for a karaoke night,
Mm-hmm.
or on Saturdays we have an outdoor space that they activate, we activate, that has a bocce ball court that looks at, one area looks at Lynn, the other is looking at downtown Boston. It's right by the Gibson Park area. We're hoping to grab a lot of, co-ed softball leagues and whatnot that come off of there. So they wanted, the idea to be flexible so we could have these events if we wanted to. Nothing big, nothing like it is that we do at Vivi's. It wouldn't be like that at all. We just want the option to be able to, hey, if we're having this resident event there, if they wanted to provide a DJ to spin inside or outside during regulated hours, that's fine. We're not looking to have this be a club by any stretch of the imagination. With the concept being as it is in the interior photos, like if you see it, a lot of blues, a lot of earth tones, and again, we're making smoothies and coffee and juices, so.
And does the building itself has any restrictions on the amount of how late you can stay open? Is that part of it?
Right now, we pitched to them midnight. They wanted at least that late. We say open till at least midnight at Fine Line. because we have a lot of the residents that want to come down as like a last place to hang out in the
So it's
building.
gonna be like a similar, like Fine Line?
I mean, so yeah, they hilariously enough, they wanted a very healthy menu, but also wanted the Fine Line pizza oven. So we got one of those for them. But no, like the vibe and the menu is going to be a bit different. We do have pizzas, but it's a lot of pastries, a lot of more health conscious items because that is what the building requested. We're partners with them on this, so it's not like, as you guys all know, Mike, it's not fully on his concept. They approached us with the idea of they'll build it, we run it, and we want to make it work for them over the long term.
Fair enough.
Do you have any questions?
So I love the idea about, what you're saying, the juices, the restaurant. I'm just a little bit nervous about giving the entire, vocal, instrument, music, and dancing at the same time.
I mean, I understand. I don't think that the restaurant's not designed at all to be able to accommodate like a gigantic party of that sort. But
And of course,
Yeah.
we do want to support your business. But it's just that, I think that.
Okay, well, I think you've answered our questions. Thank you very much.
No problem.
We'll close this part of the hearing. Are there any proponents? Is there anybody that would like to speak on behalf of the issuing of this license?
Angela Garino, Suaya, Ward 5 counselor. I'm happy that they are opening up this restaurant. Anything Michael Aldi touches is really good as far as food is concerned. My only concern is the two neighborhoods that directly abut the restaurant, of it being open past the 12 a.m. license. If we can keep it at the 12 for now, to just at least do a pilot program to see if it's okay, even with the residents above. I don't know what soundproofing they have either. But if we can keep it open till only 12, not go any further than that, I would be okay with that as well. I'd appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just don't want it to go, them to turn around and say, I want it till 2 a.m., because we have two neighborhoods that are directly abutting that. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you, Counselor. The restaurant itself, is it going to, now as you look at the building, is the restaurant going to be in the back
it's
on
in
the
the back.
water end or the?
Yes. So if you're looking at the building from wherever 16, you see the lobby in the front. There's a wooden boardwalk that runs on the channel and alongside the building. We're at the very end of that.
Okay.
So if you go out the outdoor patio door, you're basically looking between Boston and Lynn, and then there's the park is right there.
Okay. Thank you very much.
No problem.
Are there any other proponents? Anybody else like to speak on behalf of the issuing of this license? You don't see or hear anybody? We'll close that section. Anybody opposed? Anybody opposed to the issuing of this licenses? There is no opposition. We'll close that section. Do you, would you like to discuss anything further?
No, I would certainly move to approve the license as well as the requested entertainment. However, I would make a motion to adjust the time that the music should be off by 11:30 and close by 12,
Would that be interior, exterior?
especially exterior.
Yeah, the exterior, we probably, like we do in the other spaces. At Ryder, it's set to go off at 10.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And at Drift and Fine Line, we cut them off at 10.
That's obviously reasonable, but that's what I would propose.
Which is completely fine.
Very good. So the substitute motion would be that you would be able to stay open till 12, but your music would go off at 11:30.
Sounds fine.
Sounds fine. Very good. So the application, okay. Shut off your microphone. Yeah. The application for the all alcohol restaurant license, the current motion is for the license to be issued and exercised at 1 Gibson Way. The requested hours are Sunday through Saturday, 7 a.m. to 12 a.m. The requested seating is 89 inside, 50 outside. The entertainment would be widescreen cable TV, radio, DJ, amplifiers, karaoke, vocal and instrumental music, and dancing by patrons, all to cease by 11:30. Very good. That's the motion.
I'd second that motion.
Very good. The application is approved. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The application for the all-alcohol restaurant license for Gibson Point Restaurant LLC, DBA Mila's, is approved. A late addition to the agenda is item number 7, Reyes Boxing, Inc. We're all set, sir. Thank you.
You still have to hang around, right?
This is an application for a one-day malt wine and entertainment license. The application of Reyes Boxing, Inc., Michael Reyes, the event manager. This is going to be exercised at the Boston Harley-Davidson at 649-1 Squire Road on Sunday, March 15th, 2025, from 3 p.m. to 10 p.m. for a boxing match. I beg your pardon? Saturday, March 15th.
Okay, I thought you said Sunday, sorry. Just want to make sure I didn't write it wrong.
Yeah, no, if I misspoke, I'm sorry. Saturday, March 15th, 2025, from 3 p.m. to 10 p.m. for a boxing match. Your name and address for the record, please.
Michael Reyes, 1 West Shore Drive, Marblehead, Mass.
Very good. Can you tell us briefly what you'd like to do with this one-day license?
Sure. We are bringing in some fighters from Ireland and some of the local amateur fighters from Revere Boxing and the local gyms around. We're going to host a professional and amateur boxing match inside the Harley-Davidson. It'll start at 4, end probably around 9:30, 10 o'clock. That's the plan.
Very good. And how is the alcohol going to be dispensed?
It will be in the back. There'll be a stanchion-off area, 21 plus. We've already hired 3 police officers to be there, as well as our security that's there. And there'll be bracelets for checking 21 plus bracelets. No one can go past that section. That's not.
Is this a under 21 event, like 18?
It's an 18 plus event, yeah.
Okay. How long you been doing this?
I have 26 matches.
Myself?
And, yeah, so the last 5 years.
Last 5 years.
Yeah,
Do you is this the first event you've put on, or you put on other events before?
26 of them.
26.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
of
So
the
you've done
past
a lot.
5 years I've been doing it.
I see.
This
are
is
you
the
with-
first one here.
Are you with like a specific club or?
So Reyes Boxing Promotions is my promotional company. I happen to own a gym, which is Reyes Boxing Club, but we work with some of the local guys as well. So.
Did you draw this diagram for us?
I did. She said, just,
Not very good.
I'm sorry.
Hopefully you're a
She
better
said
boxer
this-
than
I'm
you're
way
drawing.
better, way better. Definitely not engineer.
Yeah, I was gonna
Business,
say.
business school, not engineering school.
I hope you box better than this drawing. Just messing with you, but I think that's cool, man. So Harley Davidson, man, that should be exciting.
Yeah, so we just actually worked with, they're part of the New England Harley Davidson group. I just did a fight this past Saturday in Manchester, New Hampshire, and we did our weigh-ins at their Seacoast location. It was really great. Everyone loved
No
it, so
issues, right?
no issues at all.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
excited. Have you ever had something like this in Revere?
Not at that location.
Okay.
They've had them at Oceanside and a couple other places.
More recently, yes, you've had a couple there. Harley approached me and said they wanted to do something, and we were like, okay, let's try this.
So the main events will be close to the end of the night?
So actually, oddly enough, I have 4 guys coming from Ireland because it's St. Patrick's Day weekend. We're going to start the professionals, or at least those 4, at 4 o'clock, go into the amateurs, and then finish off with the remaining professionals from around because overseas can watch it at that time.
Cool.
Very good.
Very good.
All right, we're going to close this section of the hearing. Is there any proponents? Anybody like to speak on behalf of the Reyes Boxing event?
A lot of people, 300. How big is this place?
It's huge.
572 is their capacity.
Yeah. It's big in there. That's huge.
Okay, yes.
Do I have to hit the
When
mic
you
when we
speak,
talk?
yes, if you would,
I see.
please.
So you have to turn off yours, and I see what you're saying. All right.
Very good. Okay, well, we're gonna discontinue this part of the hearing and ask for any opponents. Anybody opposed to the issuing of this license? We don't see or hear anybody. We'll close that section. Would you like to discuss this, or would you like to make a motion?
As written.
I'll second that.
Very good. The application for a one-day malt wine entertainment license for Reyes Boxing, Inc., Michael Reyes, event manager. The license is to be exercised at Boston Harley-Davidson, 649-1 Squire Road, on Saturday, March 15th, 2025, from 3 p.m. to 10 p.m. Thank you very much, sir. Good luck with your event.
Thank you for your time.
That concludes the applications for consideration. The next items on the agenda are hearings. 21 Revere Beach Boulevard LLC, 21 Revere Beach Boulevard. Michael Aldi is the manager. This is a hearing into reports of neighborhood disruptions from noise and fights and serving patrons after 2 a.m. Name and address for the record, please, sir.
Name is Demick O'Brien. Address is 35 Lakeshore Court in Boston.
Okay, well, we've been getting a fair amount of complaints about what's been going on at VV. Why don't you tell us what's been going on from your perspective?
So from our perspective, we saw an opportunity to potentially grow revenue at the restaurant by doing more nightlife after dinner. We're located on an end of the beach that is somewhat shallowly developed right now, so we were trying to at least drum up some sort of revenue for ourselves, and we thought that the idea of having more of a loungy atmosphere would help bring people in late night. Our license already goes till 2 o'clock with full entertainment. We were actually the restaurant that came to the board about getting any sort of language written in about bottle service to Revere. The issue that we had, I know that there have been complaints from the residents of the building. In talking with both managers that we've had, the issue we face more is exterior when around 2 o'clock when people are leaving. I found that it's somewhat of a jurisdiction issue because only so much outside of the front of our building belongs is Revere Police. Past that is DCR, so that's state police. So sometimes there is a jurisdiction issue there about getting people out. We were told by one police officer who came in who'd said that he had claimed that what he had seen was, you guys, your music was on past 1:30. I saw partially full drinks around the restaurant at 2 o'clock and whatever. I obviously wasn't there for this. So once I took that into consideration, talked with the police officer, and I said, okay, cool. Here's the plan that we're laying out. And we've had police details at all of these events for the past, I think, 4 or 5 weeks at every single one we've had. Every time they talked to us, they said, no, you guys are great now. It's been a lot better. 1:30, lights are on, music's off. No guests are in the building past 2. I had one issue where a man couldn't pay for his tab, so I had to sit there with him for a while to figure that out. We don't get a ton of complaints, at least told from us, from the building as far as the noise interior-wise. All the residents did sign in their lease that it's a mixed-use building, so they understand that the risk inherent is you live in a commercial space. But so far, haven't heard too much from the residents as far as internal noise. What I have found more is external noise. Also, securing this has been somewhat of an issue. I have experience in clubs, college bars, and whatnot. I used to run a college bar in Boston that fit 400 people. I do it by myself with 8 door guys. We were using a private security company before. We found that they were a bit too aggressive with the patrons that we did have. So we hired guys that have experience, work at Oceanside Event Center, work at the House of Blues, who are far better suited and far nicer about things. I also sat with these guys having the experience that I do. I've done ID training with them. We do use a scanner. But I've been involved in a number of situations in my time when I was younger working at places like this. It's all in the approach with security. Approach them nicely. Use language that makes sense. Don't threaten them. Don't ever come off as you're being any sort of above them or anything. Don't crowd people. Always say please and thank you. You know, there's going to be issues. Don't ever take anything that they say personally.
These guys that you have at the door, do they have credentials? Do they have a security license? Are they?
No, I mean, we had that
training?
before, we did. And those guys were like, that company would always send guys, but they were far too aggressive with the patrons. Like I had an issue with one of them where he was ejecting somebody. I thought he was way too aggressive
I understand
about
that,
what
but
he was doing.
I was there Friday.
Sure.
And, I went to the door and, I showed them my badge and stuff. And the gentlemen that were at the door, and they did scan IDs
Yeah.
and they were doing their job, but they just looked like regular employees, like.
Well,
they
yeah,
dressed the part of
there are
it.
guys, I
Like,
mean, most places in the city, most of the places don't, like not in the city, like in Boston, in my experience, a lot of guys don't have any sort of security license. These are guys who just have a lot of experience. They work at two or three different places doing this job.
Right.
You know, like it's not like they have a CCP or anything like that. They just have a lot of experience doing it.
I did have an opportunity to speak to a gentleman. I think his name was Jay. He said he was the manager that night.
Yes.
Very nice guy. I did note that they did last call as early as 1:15.
Yep.
Everything was shut down like 1:30, exactly like you said. I do think the fact that there was a Revere officer there that obviously tamed a lot of the incidents that we described, but I really think the issue's been on Sundays. Not necessarily on your Friday or Saturday nights.
From what
Sunday's been the issue.
from what I've gathered, the promoter that we use on Sunday he's a resident DJ at a club in Boston.
Bijou?
And, no, the Bijou guys are on Friday.
Is that the Cisco? No, DJ.
Cisco does the Grand now.
Right. I've seen him there on Sunday a couple of times.
Yeah. So, and that's also a late arriving crowd because they typically come after his events on Sundays. Yeah, the last one that I had to oversee was one of his events, and we had a few issues. I had a woman who was absolutely hysterical about things and wouldn't listen to her friends, which was rather annoying. But we've been sitting here trying to work with him. Like this past Sunday, we ended up changing up the configuration of how this was all set up. We treated it a lot less like a club. There wasn't, like the bottle service aspect wasn't enhanced or pushed at all. And it was a bit more of a chill crowd, more than you would see like on a Saturday there. Again, that was one time. I can't speak for every time, but this is why. Like I sat with these guys and I was like, look, you need to understand, like, here's the way you need to be doing things. After 10 o'clock, this isn't functioning like a restaurant. We need to start treating this as a lounge. We have security. Your demeanor is going to change. The way we do business is going to change. Like, and it's all part and parcel with being like more of a lounge.
And you have your entertainment until 2 a.m. on Sundays as well?
Yep.
And you're open until 2 a.m. on Sundays?
It seems that a lot of these things have come since the bottle service has been initiated. Is that
I mean,
coincidence,
we
or-
basically were doing it. We've been doing it the whole time. Like when we did it the first week, we were like, we asked, we're like, is there any actual language in this? And we looked at it, and there was none in licensing, and that's why we approached you guys. We're like, there's no language for this. Like we wanted to like reach out to make sure that we were covered for this stuff. We run within the state laws for Massachusetts. The bottles aren't left with the patrons. We have the RFID caps that can only be unlocked when you walk over with an app on a phone. All of our servers are tip certified. Again, the servers are the only ones who are there to pour drinks. This isn't like in Vegas where you can just like grab it and run around with it. So we wanted to keep it together because again, this is a wholly new venture. It's completely new for up here, and there hasn't been like a long history of clubs or anything like that in here. So we wanted to at least try to make sure in the attempt that this makes sense and we do it the right way.
Very good. So are you having detail officers now?
Yep.
Has that been added to the security plan?
Yep.
And what nights are the detail officers?
So I know that it's pretty much every Friday and Sunday. Saturdays, we've been trying, and sometimes like they don't have somebody to to do it. But our Saturday nights are actually far more chill. It's more dinner based on Saturdays, and we don't use a promoter on Saturday. We just have a local DJ who's from Revere comes in and basically spins music during the last part of dinner, and it's more of like a electronic music focused crowd. So it's a little bit more chill as opposed to like reggaeton or hip hop or something.
Do you leave the tables there, or you move them out?
But pretty well, yeah. So outside of we did for Valentine's Day, we had a big influx of dinner tables. But right now, Fridays and Saturdays, we typically leave those like lounge tables there. We seat the rest of the tables. If people want a lounge atmosphere because those are against the window, we seat them. You know, but during dinner, there's no bottle service, you know, and that's just our choice. We didn't want to do that because we still wanted to keep the vibe of what we had before, you know, as far as our dinner is concerned, and then transition over.
So I feel that, having a detailed officer will definitely help with all these issues we have. But I see a lot of reports talking about, Saturday, 2 a.m., Sunday.
Yeah.
So this is a concern that I have too. We have several reports for Sundays. I also have another question for you. So last weekend, I was craving some tapas. And I Googled the hours, and I noticed that you guys are only open Friday, Saturday, and Sunday?
Yes, for the winter time,
Okay.
we're only open there because we found that like on that end of the beach, it's a bit tougher to get people in. So we've talked to the building and they were fine with us. Like, hey, cool, it's okay. You guys can be closed for the early day weeks. Like, that's all right because it was costing us more to operate than to staff it. In the winter, in like the spring and summer, we want to open back up
Okay.
full on again. It just makes sense with the,
Yeah.
what's the percentage of increase of people that come to the beach in the summertime? Quite a bit.
Lieutenant, have you seen a decrease since the initiation of details?
So far, yeah. We haven't had any issues since they've had the detail. Nothing's come across my desk.
Okay, thank you very much. Well, it seems that the implementation of the detail officers has rectified this problem to some degree.
Yeah, and the plan is to have them from here on out. It makes things, in my experience of running places, at least having one, uniformed officer there makes a whole lot more sense. It does deter a lot of things. It also gives me a far better line of communication, as opposed to contacting the police via phone, having to wait for them to come by. Not saying the response times are bad, but it's a far easier to just walk 3 feet and say, hey, I can see this being an issue,
Well, I would think that we would keep this on file for a while and see how this goes. And if we have additional problems, we'll come back and look at it and see what we can do to address that.
All right? I hope not. That's the hope.
Very good. Is there anybody else that would like to have anything to say in this hearing? We don't see or hear anybody, we'll close that. So we're going to file this for now, and we'll look at it and monitor it as we go along.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yes.
Let's do Antoni's.
We're going to have a 10-minute recess.
Needs a break.
Thank you. The next item on the agenda is Four Partners, Inc., Antonius at the Beach, 492 Revere Beach Boulevard. Rodrigo Angulo is the manager. This is a hearing into noise complaints. Is there someone from Antonius? Name and address for the record, please, sir. Thank you.
Fernando Loaiza, 484 Revere Beach Boulevard.
Okay, so we've been getting noise complaints from residents, and basically, it seems that you're leaving your door open, and the music from inside is coming out.
Yeah, first I want to sorry about my neighbors. I mean, that's something that sometimes it's hard to control. People open the door and get out. Even sometimes when I'm done closing, my alarm doesn't go because that door is open. We become with some kind of plan, which is put like an extra door, and also about the music. We have something to control the levels of music. So we have like a lot of plans with, right now we have Mr. Tony Portillo that I want to introduce. He's going to be a new partner. And actually, he's going to be taking over the manage of the place. And I'm going to still use with the parties and functions that I do most. I like it and I love to do my functions and weddings. So in that side, like I say, I'm really sorry. I always try, for me, it's a lot of stress. And I do just because it's business. And sometimes the restaurant is so slow. And nighttime is when we make some revenue. I keep, on top of my DJs, so people, please, down. But like I said, when they open the door, keep open, and that's when the noise go out. So. No, it's on the side. Side. Oh, it's actually the handicap. This one is not supposed to be used for like just go. It's just handicap.
Right, exactly. So my question is, how are you allowing your patrons to open and close it?
Well, I just gonna tell something. I have one of my regulars. Every time he go, he just leave the door open, like, please.
So it seems like it's something that they're used to doing, because obviously it seems like it's a managerial issue that you're not preventing your patrons from.
Well, something that we're gonna do, and actually there's a good plan, is to put like a big label and put something that is only for handicap, and it's gonna sound if somebody use it. Plus, put somebody, make sure it's always a standard there, nobody goes that door. First is because it's to control nobody goes out with alcohol or something. Nobody's supposed to be there. But like I say, sometimes it looks like it's closed, but it's little open, so all the noise go out. Like I say, that's something, to be honest, I want to step out, because to be honest, it's a lot of stress for me. So that Mr. Portillo, he's going to be more at night times, and he's going to take care more like
Where's Mr. Portillo?
functions. It's here.
How are you?
Tony Portillo, 57 Aurelia Silver Drive, Revere, Mass. So I've been in Antonius a couple of times, and I understand all the issues that we have there. And the communication was not two-way, and I feel that that's what we have to fix it, not just with you guys, but also with the residents that live next door. I just met some of the residents, and I promised that I'm going to work with them to make sure that we are assets in the community, not a headache.
Right.
I have a lot of experience running this kind of business. I had a restaurant for 11 years in East Boston and 12 years in Everett. And I love that location. I think so much that we can do, focus on selling food, good drinks. And I think the nightlife, we can work together on that to, because it have to be a way to have extra income, and we really need it, especially in the winter time. But I think, like I say, we all three can work together, the city, residents, and us. Because some of the neighbors were complaining about the noise late at night. If we can work something that, let's say, to whatever time we're allowed to have a DJ, but then after that time we can just have TVs or have the music low. That'd be great, and really appreciate it, because we really, the business is not doing that well right now. Especially in the winter time, we really need the extra income for the business. So
We certainly can appreciate that. I think the fact that you're stepping in and once you formalize your relationship with this business and actually get on some applications and you submit it before us, and make yourself known in that way, I think it's very encouraging because I think there's a lot on Fernando's plate. I know that he's running everything for the restaurant, and it's hard to be the operation manager as well as the main person, own everything. He's everything for the business, and I think part of the problems is with communication with the city. B, there's been a lot of operational issues that things like the door being left open shouldn't be happening. He's been in business for a long time.
So we, on that door, I think one of the things that I want to implement is on that part of the wall, because there's an old building, if we can put some soundproof insulation on that side of the wall,
Good
fix
idea.
that door and put an alarm, which is what I did at my other location in Everett. We had the same issue. So what I did, my clients used to open the door to go out and smoke. What I did, I put alarm sounds every time that somebody opened, and I put a red sign saying emergency side, exit only, and that fixed the problem once for all. So we want to implement the same in Antonius. So all we want is, I want to show you guys that we want to, do everything that you guys allowed. We don't want to, cut corners. I'm not asking for favors. I just want to see if you can give me opportunity to show you that, the right way to run that kind of business, knowing that, we sell liquor, we have to be responsible, we have to train our staff and work together. And I don't mind even if you have to hire detail, Fridays and Saturdays, just to make sure
Yeah,
that.
that's not your issue though here.
Yeah,
I mean,
no,
I'll be
the
honest,
issue
it's not.
is
There
just the
isn't.
noise.
There isn't fights. There isn't. We don't get those from Antonio. It's the noise. We get the noise complaints.
And
we get,
we can fix that.
stuff like that. So, yeah, Rob.
Okay, well, we understand from your perspective what the issues are. Is there anybody in the audience that would like to speak on this? Yes, ma'am, would you come forward, please? Thank you, gentlemen. I'll get back to you guys once we have a little bit more clarity.
Hello. My name is Rachel Trahan. I live at 495 River Beach Boulevard, apartment 102. Just to give you a little bit of clarity and background, I've lived there for a couple of years, and it's virtually every Friday and Saturday, Sundays included, sometimes Thursdays, or if there's a special event during the week, you can hear the noise pour out of the building. It doesn't matter if the door is open or closed. I actually found a video from Antonia's Facebook that shows the door closed from the front, and the noise pours out of the building. I think it's just a poorly insulated building. It was built back in 1948. I did a little bit of research. And I think, unfortunately, for the residents here, I've met a bunch of residents have had the same complaints. You can hear the noise in your bedroom, in the living room, in what I have as an office for work. And the noise goes till 2 and beyond. They close, I think, at 2. It's what's on their website is every day till 2. And patrons don't leave until about 2:30. And as they're on the street, they park on the street. It's very noisy. They're beeping their horns, playing music, talking. We've had an argument in front of our window. Police pulled up. I didn't call them. But it is rather difficult to live and enjoy our residential space. We rent the space. And I tend to find that I don't bring a lot of friends around because it can get rather noisy. I don't get to rest on the weekends because I don't get to go to bed till about 2:30. I've bought earplugs, noise machines, all the things. My fiance, who's working right now, he works on Saturdays, so he goes to bed around 2 because that's when the noises died down. He wakes up at around 6:45. It's a short sleep cycle for Saturdays. I did a little bit of research as to making sure I wasn't just in my feelings and, being unreasonable with my request. In the Revere code, it's 9.08.100. It's non-measured noise disturbance. And in section C, it just says if there is audible sound it's plainly audible from the building structure, it's in violation of the chapter. And you could go a couple blocks down the street and still hear it. It's very plain. And I have many videos to show it. And it's just very frustrating. And I think the residents and community want to support this business. I would love to take my friends there. I'm 30. I'd love a place to enjoy. Oh, yeah, I do.
While you're looking for that video, how often do you hear music throughout the week? Because they're open till 2, but I suspect that Antonia's the uptick in the music is probably Friday, Saturdays.
It's definitely Fridays and Saturdays. It is also Sundays now. I've noticed over this past year, Sundays is kind of on the roster.
Okay.
If there's a special event, or if it's the summer. I notice in the summer it could be any weekday, but I know a lot of the residents have told me that weekdays for them, they can also hear it. Sometimes I take a Z-Quil to just get some sleep
Right.
and try and power through it. But so this is, I don't know if I can play it on
No, I
here.
just want, like,
Bring it up.
if you don't mind passing me, you can start playing it, I'll just watch it.
So this is from like their Facebook, and it's just showing how.
That's it.
So
That's with the door closed. Yeah, I see. Okay, that's a good idea. Just to get an idea.
It's a good frame of reference.
But yeah, but at least I mean, I like the fact that you can at least credit the fact that it is a relatively old building.
Yeah, I
Right.
assume that that's the problem, is just
Right.
that there's very poor insulation. And I don't know if that means that like windows or doors need to be replaced, or I don't know how you can insulate the walls. But I do know, as far as how late it goes, I do see on the boulevard there's a noise ordinance in place that says from 10 p.m. and on. I think it's like 10 to 7. I don't know if that's a state ordinance or for the city. But at first, when I first moved in, I got very frustrated saying, oh my God, it's still 10. Why are they starting at 10?
I see what you're saying.
So I did my research. I tried to look it up. I found out they do have, I think, the licenses to do their business.
Entertainment license.
I just
yeah.
think it is unfortunate that the insulation issue and the level of noise that it is can be a bit egregious.
And I also want you to appreciate that, as part of the commission, we can sit here and try to, ask them to, but it's such an exorbitant amount of money for, especially a struggling business,
Yeah.
to try to, spend money to
Insulate,
soundproof,
yeah.
insulate, and, so obviously that's something that they would have to, and, knowing that their entertainment license could be affected because of it, maybe that's something they would just voluntarily do.
Yeah.
But it's expensive to do such a thing.
I can imagine.
So, anything else?
I think the only other thing I would say is from what I looked up, I know that this is considered, I think, like an RC1 zone, which is a residential zone. So I'm not sure if that 2 a.m. license is appropriate for the residential zone. And I don't know if the level of music that I kind of shared is appropriate for the fact that there are residential buildings all around us. But as long as I think we're being heard, I think that it's wonderful that we could come to a committee meeting like this. And I'd also like to say, I think we all want to support the business. Again, like I said, would love nothing more to bring my friends over and have a place and then be able to walk home. But at this time, it's just very difficult because I have headaches, I get migraines from lack of sleep, and it's just overall frustrating to hear people right outside our window and right by our wall.
Thank you very much. We
Thank you.
appreciate the input. Is there anybody else that would like to speak? Yes, sir. Your name and address for the record, please.
Sure. John Trahan. I'm at 11 Antrim Road up in Peabody. I'm the owner of the, co-owner of the unit that Rachel lives in. I do want to say that the, either the new owner or the owner-to-be, Tony, had approached us along with the counselor offering to try to mediate and help everybody put everything together. And I think that's very positive, and I think we're all going to take steps to do that. For the door that was mentioned, very brief, it's very simple. I have multiple buildings. You put an alarm door. A sign isn't going to do anything. You put where if they push that bar, an alarm is going to go off and it's going to deter them, but yet it still follows all the safety regulations. So that's a suggestion I'm going to give. It's not very expensive. You can go to Granger. There's multiple outlets you can buy them from. But, a sign won't get it done. An alarm might, so that's something to consider. Other than that, I think Rachel summed it up. I would love to see them work it out. It's one of those things where whether she's our tenant or we have a future tenant or one of us decide, my brother had lived there for multiple years, we'd like to know that there's something being done. So thank you for approaching us, Tony and Counselor, and thanks for hearing our complaint. Thank you.
Is there anybody else that would like to speak? Yes, sir. Just hit the button there in front of you. Thank you.
Okay. My name's Cliff Tettle. I have the Cliff Tettle Band for the last 5 years at Antonia's at the Beach on Sunday brunch. And before I talk about the music, but because I've been there for 5 years, I got to know Fernando pretty well. And he's a man that if anything occurs, he's a guy that's going to have the heart to want to take care of it. I mean, he'll come in, he learns if something might not be right, he's going to fix it. He's not going to leave things alone. He's got a heart. He's kept my band, which is from 12 to 3. I don't know. I heard Sunday mentioned by that the lady there. We are an acoustic band. I play saxophone without a microphone. People come to hear us. They love us. We are not rocking the walls by any means. We're not 12. Yeah. Well, Sunday was mentioned, and there is no way that we are creating any disturbance at all. As long as that's understood. Okay. All right. The other point is, speaking of Fernando's character, this man, first of all, in my case, whether it's the issue or not, I think it's something that you should hear. He's a man that's kept, for the last 5 years, he's kept musicians in my band that don't have any other job working. Whether it's even if it's a couple of times a month, you know, and I've seen how he treats his help. They love him, and he's very kind to his help. So I'm a little surprised. And also at 2 a.m, I have been there. I've been there, approaching Antonia's at the beach. Now, the door, I can understand if the door is open. I never saw that. But I approached Antonia's at the beach. And until I get to Antonia's at the beach, until I'm at the building, I don't hear the music. This idea of if a half a block away, I've been there a couple of times late at night, and I'm not, with all due respect to others, I hear the music when I get to Antonia's at the beach. I don't hear it.
Question?
Sure.
Why are you going to Antonia's at 2 a.m. in the morning when they close at 2?
Why am I going there?
Yeah, at 2 a.m.
I just happen to sometimes go out.
So
I'm not going in there to
Is it
any
because
other
they're
reason.
still open after 2? Is that what you're saying?
No, they're not open. I don't know. They're not open.
You said you're
after 2.
approaching it at 2 a.m. I'm just curious
No,
to know.
I'm just walking. What? 2 or 1 o'clock.
Taking a walk at 2
Okay,
a.m.?
let me apologize if I said the wrong.
It's not the wrong thing. It sounds like you're telling the truth. Sounds like you're walking up at 2 a.m. There's no music.
Late at night. I've been there when the band. Let me rephrase it. I've been there when the night band is playing.
Okay.
Or the disc jockey is playing, and when I get there, it's loud there.
Right.
But I don't notice it
outside.
I don't notice it when I'm approaching I only notice it when I'm at the restaurant. And I do apologize. I was giving you the idea 2 o'clock. Really, it was just when the band is playing, I
understand.
It just happened, and I just happened to be there. So this is all I'm saying. It could be the case, but if the door was open, but again, 2 or 3 times I've seen it like that. But as far as the man's character, I do know he will fix anything.
Which we'll credit that testimony. We
Yeah, I
appreciate
mean,
that.
absolutely. And he's been good to us
Right.
for 5 years. Case in point, there was some flooring that had to be done.
Mm-hmm.
And we were scheduled to work that night. We were scheduled that afternoon. And he called me 2 or 3 hours. It's not going to be ready, Cliff. But, and I have people that I have to pay. I'll pay the band. That's the character he's got. You're talking about a guy that's got heart. If there's problems, he'll fix it. I'm no partner. I'm just the guy that comes in twice a month. But I've been doing it for 5 years, and I appreciate the guy and the staff. So call it a character reference. But if I was my Sunday brunch, that's very acoustic, and I invite you to be there. I'll be there March 2nd on a Sunday. Please come, and I guarantee you will not need earplugs.
All right, well-
And I think you might even be snapping your finger.
Sounds good.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Is there anybody else that would like to speak? Your name and address for the record,
My name is
please.
Sylvia Petrova, 495 Riviera Beach Boulevard in Revere. And I just want to add to what Rachel already said, that the music continues like frequently after 2 a.m. and it happens on weekdays.
Oh, it does?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I personally called the police to file a noise complaint, I believe, a few Thursdays ago. And it's just, we've endured countless of sleepless nights ever since they extended their license until 2 o'clock in the morning. And beyond not the noise, I just want to point out that restaurant patrons frequently park over our parking spots. And during the summer, it's a huge problem because there's no street parking. So you just have to wait in your car until 2 a.m. to park in your designated spot. So there's many issues, and I understand that like every business has the right to operate, but not at the cost of the peace and safety and well-being of the residents.
Thank you.
So,
We'll
thank you.
credit that. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Yes, ma'am. Your name and address for the record, please.
Veselina Rangelova, 495 Revere Beach Boulevard, Apartment 301. Thank you for having this hearing. So I've been living in this building for about 7 years now. I've been an owner of my unit for about 3, and the restaurant has always been there, which is wonderful. It's always wonderful to have options. That you all know that the beach has changed so much in the past 7 years. And there's definitely a bunch of restaurants. We already heard earlier from a gentleman who was managing a couple of the most popular restaurants that we frequent and visit. And they are even closer to their residential neighbors, sometimes within the same building. Now, none of us that is here expressing our concern is assaulting the character of the managers of this restaurant. The problem we're having is that the place is being run. There's a clear understanding that their vibrant nightlife will have a cutoff time that is respectable, a respectable hour, and also respecting our need to enjoy our residential spaces. So.
Well, when someone has a 2 a.m. license, everybody is supposed to be off the premises and out by 2 o'clock.
I understand that.
And alcohol is supposed to not be served after 1:30.
Well, I can't say whether or not they are actively selling it on the premises after 1:30 because I certainly am not going to be there at 1:30 to police and notice that fact. But I could tell you that we are noticing patrons leaving after 2 o'clock and patrons also parking in our parking spaces because they cannot find parking behind the restaurants or on the street. You know, there's prohibition of parking on some parts of the boulevard after 10 o'clock, so that limits the opportunity. So we are suffering a lot more than just the noise from that restaurant. But the noise being the predominant concern, for this particular hearing, I'm just bringing this to your attention, that this place is being actively advertised as a vibrant nightlife possibility after 10 p.m. in a residential neighborhood.
Okay, well, thank you for that. We appreciate it. Counselor?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Okay, where do I start? I have been working with Tony Portillo, one of the new owners of Antonia's. I understand everyone's issue. As far as the RC1 that was brought up earlier, that's a DCR issue. It has nothing to do with the city of Revere, and that's called a quiet zone. It has nothing to do with the business that's inside and the noise that's inside a business, but instead the vehicles that used to park outside and have their cars blaring the radios and stuff like that, that's where that quiet zone comes into play. As far as the restaurant, their license, their entertainment license is only till 12:30. They are not supposed to be playing loud music after 12:30. As far as their alcohol license, that's till 2 a.m., I'm sorry. That's till 2 a.m. They are going to start concentrating more on the food aspect of the restaurant. I know Fernando is really, really good at doing weddings and doing different parties like that and decorating. He's fantastic at it. So that's the part that he's going to be taking over. The rest of it is going to be Tony Portillo, and he's going to be responsible and speak to every one of their residents that have concerns. I made him give them his number so they can contact him as well as myself to try to rectify the situation. The one thing that they are asking for, the restaurant is asking for their entertainment license, which is over at 12:30, but they would like to keep, they just revamped the entire restaurant. So now they have huge, big screen TVs around the entire bar. So what they wanted to do is shut that music off at 12:30 like they're supposed to, and then have it like a sports bar that they can watch TV, watch like whatever sporting events are on and stuff like that. But that's totally up to the commission to do so. But I would, for them to shut that music off, that would be the most important thing for me right now. And then as far as that door being open, I'm the one who told them to put the sign up. But I totally agree with the gentleman next door that said put the alarm, because that is very important. Because once they open it once and they hear that, it's going to stop. It will stop. And I know that they weren't talking about the side door. You said that door was shut and you heard all that noise. It's the front door. It's the side door. And it's directly abutting that apartment building. Yes, it's directly that side door. And that's, when that door is open, forget it. It's like being in your living room. And I know that for a fact because I've heard it. I've opened the door just to hear what was happening. So once he takes care of that issue, and if they can put the insulation in on that, at least on that side of the house, I think it would make, of the building, it would make a huge difference with the neighbors as well. But as long as they are willing to work with the neighbors, I will be in full support of it. Thank you.
Sir, did you want to say something? If you'd step to the microphone and tell us your name and address, please, for the record.
Yeah, so it's time-stamped Sunday, 1:20 a.m. Yes. This is from inside my house. All the windows closed.
Can you put it a little louder?
The speaker's kind of
That's all right. That's all right.
That's with the windows closed.
This is with the windows closed. Oh, wow. I see what you're saying.
So basically,
Can I just play it again really quick?
Yeah.
Because you were outside at one point. I'm just playing the video, that's all.
yeah, you can take this closer to if you want to hear it.
Thanks.
1:20 a.m. on Sunday. Meaning I gotta get up at 6 o'clock on Mondays.
I got you. All right.
It's like, I got nothing against the restaurant.
Of course not.
I eat there sometimes. So
Right.
I don't want to close the business.
Just speak at the mic real quick, yeah. Just say what you said just now.
Yeah, basically, I have nothing against the business at all. I actually ate there multiple times. I've done the brunch, I've had drinks there, I've listened to the band before.
Right.
And it's just the bass is, it's like the bass is like the main killer.
How long ago was that video taken?
How long ago?
Yeah.
That was August 25th.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Fernando, if you'd... Well, you have heard your neighbors. What
Okay.
are your thoughts?
First, again, I want to apologize. I'm sorry. Something that I was mentioned to Angela is I try to work with my neighbors. There are so many people come to me, can I park on your parking? Fine. Can I, and even I called to the person in charge over there because I have a big problem with the water, and I said, can we work together? She never called me back, but I fix it. It's okay, yeah? Something I really want since day one is if you approach to me and say, can we talk? Nobody. And something about the police, I don't have reports. And actually the last time, I was the one who called the police because there was a crazy lady outside talking loud, and I called. When the guy come, he say, You guys call and say, yeah, that was a lady, but she already left because I don't want problem with my neighbors. Nobody else. I don't think I have reports about that. So for my side, it looks like everything's fine because nobody come to me. And I want to show you something. I already started. And I know about the DJs, and it's hard to control because sometimes they're just there, they don't pay attention. So I'm want to show you this. This is a new device that I just bought it. It's going to be set. And if you see, there are many times that I want to show you. This is the levels. It's inside. So there's, if you see different days. So different days. I always keep it that one. And this is the box. It's a brand new. So basically it's set as on level. But about the music is because it's old building, right? So even if I try to control this, it's hard. I'm gonna tell you the truth. In my daughter's here, when this happened, I'm like this. I love to make parties and everything because it's lonely. I just do this business. I had to pay my employees. I had 25 employees. And sometimes I don't even make money, right? In parties, unfortunately, right now, it's only 1 or 2 a month. I can't even pay the rent. You know, I've been struggling. So we do that. That's why I become somebody to give me more ideas. Let's do this. When he say, let's do a sport bar, great. There's not a sport bar here. And the sport bar is always early, right? So again, I try to work with you guys. Anything. I've been calling you lady there. I had the number, Donna. She never answered me. She never answered me. Can I talk to you? Can I talk to you? Nothing. So I approached to my, thank you. She was actually the, who approached you guys. Hey, we want Fernando, Antonia, they want to talk to you, right? I don't try to do nothing bad for you guys. You have discount. Come anytime. I'm your neighbor. You have discount. Whatever. I can do anything for you guys. But if I don't know, because now it comes to me, I'm outside. Good. Sometimes they put out, can you put it down? Can you put it down? About the time, I can tell you, by 2 o'clock, nobody there. I don't know if people with cars outside, but I can't control that. I go outside, guys, can you please go? Can you guys go? But inside, by 1:30, we do last call, 45, lights off, and everybody's out. 2 o'clock is just my employees inside. The DJ, his people. And we have a lot of employees because we have around 15 people working. So if you see a lot of people inside, it's my employees. We gotta clean, we gotta do everything, side work and everything. So music is out, right? So like I say, I'm sorry I've not been here so many times, and I just give you to Mr. Tony, and I say, thank you so much. You don't know, my last month has been so hard for me, and right now, since I'm here, I feel a little like, he's taking care of so much stuff from me.
Okay. Well, thank you, Fernando.
Thank you.
Mr. Portillo, if you'd step up, please. You are going to be running this place going forward, is that my understanding?
Yes, I've been there for the last couple of weeks just learning the business, and I think right now I have a really good idea of what's going on. This is the first time that we tried to approach the building and go and talk to the neighbors before today, but we had no luck. I'm glad that I met some of the neighbors. I passed my business card, and all I'm asking is opportunity, and let's work together. And I will, some of the residents, they invite me to go to the house and try to listen to the noise, and that's great, because we don't want it, like I said, we don't want nobody to, not to sleep and have to go to work the next day. We want to work with them to make sure that noise is not a problem at night. We also have to understand that it's a business, it's a big business. We need an income. And if we work together, I think we're going to run the business and be a good asset for the neighbors there, for the city, for us to make money. That's the ultimate goal. But right now, we really need to work together, because otherwise it's going to be difficult for us to continue running the business the way it is. All I want is an opportunity to show, what I want to do there, like I said. So, during the day, we want to, continue the brunch that, focus on food. But I'm asking if, say if we have a DJ at 12:30, the DJ is off. If we have a band, 12:30, they're off. If we can have the TVs or even, really low music playing after that.
No, you won't be able to do that right away. But I just want to say this, Mr. Portillo. I'll start by saying this.
Okay.
The entertainment license is governed by the Massachusetts General Laws, Chapter 140, Section 183. The License Commission, right, has the ability, if we receive unreasonable increase of noise complaints, disturbance complaints regarding a business, we have the ability to obviously modify, suspend, revoke any portion of your license that we issue. So that's what we
Okay.
are faced with when we are sitting here in front of a room full of residents, you know, complaining to the extent that they're complaining, and they're all legitimate complaints, and they're all substantiated by the videos that they've shown this commission. I also want to point out the fact that Fernando, Mr. Lozada, Fernando Lozada, I want to say his full name for the record, has been before this commission with multiple issues. Aside from the operational issues, there's been a significant amount of issues regarding his paperwork, things not being submitted on time, certain amendments that he needs to make. The ABCC just issued a return of no action regarding one of his paperwork for not, being compliant with his requirements with the Department of Revenue. So there's just a host of issues that I believe that you have in front of you. But I can say this, the only thing that's encouraging about this hearing is the fact that you're going to be involved. Because I understand your history and I understand what you essentially bring to the table. And I think for the neighbors and the residents of Revere, it's encouraging that Mr. Portillo is going to be involved because I know how you run your other restaurants, your other establishments, and you've been before this commission with requests that we've always readily approved because we know how you do business. That's the only thing. I think prior to your involvement, I was certainly prepared to revoke or even move to revoke the entertainment license entirely because, as you noted, the license until 12:30, we have an individual that says he's showing up, to party at 2 o'clock in the morning, and I'm going to credit that testimony. And we also have these residents saying that, this gentleman just said that he's playing, he showed me a video of music being played at 1:28 in the morning. So it's clearly rules not being followed. However,
I understand.
I'm encouraged by your involvement. I'm encouraged the fact that I think you are going to follow the rules. And it can't necessarily be, hey, let's turn off the music at 12:30, but let's start blasting the TV. I mean, obviously you can have your TV on, but it's one of those things that, I think Antonia's, or the new name that it's eventually going to be, is going to get to a point where that grace that the city is extending is starting to run out a little bit, okay?
No, I
So I
completely
want you to really
understand.
understand that, and I wanted to make sure that was noted for the record.
Yeah, no, I understand. And one of the things that I will make sure is that we follow the rules. I mean, we can't go against the rules. And that's what I'm saying. If we have to hire detail just to make sure that, we follow the rules, we will do that for Friday and Saturdays. And I will definitely work with the neighbors, to go and make sure that the noise is not a problem for them to sleep at night.
So Tony, I'm very happy to see you here today. And Fernando, you seem like a nice person, but it seems like it's the first time you hear a lot of things from the neighbors. And to me, that has been like the major issue with noise and everything that the residents are saying. So having some help like you need. Tony, you heard what the complaints are.
Yeah.
You probably knew some, but I think this gives you a better idea on what is needed. Something
Yeah.
so small as like a door, closing that
Yeah.
door, and that's been going on for months. So in the past, we have had other restaurants with similar issues where we have the owners or the managers, and then we have the residents, but where the restaurants or the owners of the restaurants have done what they need to, and we have not heard back from them. So I'm hoping, that this could be one of those cases.
Yeah.
Tony, also, if we don't have any paperwork from you, I think, you need to file paperwork for.
Yeah, because I was waiting for this meeting to see how it's going. And we did fill some paperwork today, but I was going to give it to Maggie, but she suggests to wait after the meeting.
Well, this problem is not going to get any better as the summer approaches. So this is something that you're really going to have to address. And
I mean, I will start working with the neighbors because they're the ones that suffer. So I think that's a good start. You know, work with the neighbors to make sure that noise is not a problem.
Okay, well, I guess that would definitely start it. Well, do you want to propose a motion?
Yes. So I think at this point, what I'm prepared to propose to the commission, and I think that we need to have a show of faith on your part. I think that these residents, and I have to take their complaints not only at face value, but obviously credit what they're saying, because they're the ones that are enduring this on a regular basis. So I understand the entertainment license is till 12:30. Is that Monday through Friday or Monday through Sunday?
Saturday.
Yeah, I was looking for it. I couldn't find it. It's all at the back, right? Okay, so we need to change this. So I would propose here, so right now, the current operations, in terms of the entertainment license appears to
But the
be
problem was
Monday.
not, one thing was on paper, but there was no problem. You know, the
seems-
music was going on till 2 o'clock. I think that was one of the biggest
So,
issues.
so here's the thing. So Monday through Saturday, 9 AM to 2 AM, is that it? And then Sunday, 11 AM to 2 AM? And karaoke dancing by patrons is only on Wednesday, Sunday, 8 PM to 11 PM. So that's something that's obviously.
No, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Wednesday through,
through-
Wednesday through Saturday, 8 PM to 11 PM. And the entertainment needs to stop by 12:30. So I would like to move to amend the entertainment hours. I would propose Monday through Thursday, 9 AM to 10 PM. And the music and entertainment must cease at 10 PM. Friday, Saturday, 12 AM, and that means the music stops by 12 AM. And Sunday, and I guess my question now is, before I finish, is the 11 AM to 2 AM on a Sunday, but yet on Monday through Thursday, it's at 9 AM? That doesn't make sense. I'm gonna amend it. Let's do 11 AM on Monday through Thursday. Monday through Thursday, it's 11 AM to 10 PM. And then Sunday, 11 AM to 10 PM on Sunday. And I would like that motion heard and approved by the commission, only because that I need to see, there has to be a show of good faith on the part of Antonius. Now that Mr. Tony Portillo is going to be involved, which I have all the confidence in the world that operationally, everything's going to change, based on what I know and heard from his prior businesses. However, there's been persistent cries from the community that I think the commission has an obligation to respond to. When I'm reading these noise complaints that come in, and can you guys please do something this time? Can you guys please do something this time? And I see that multiple times. How can we not respond to it? I'm not trying to hurt Antonius with my proposal. I would like for the business to thrive. This is not something that's permanent, right? You can always come back and obviously ask for an amendment. I see the letter that was put forward by Fernando requesting no restrictions, not in light of these complaints. It's not possible. Again, I'm only one of three. Although I'm the sitting co-chair, but I'm only one of three. And I would propose that the hours be rolled back, at the very least for a trial period, because, when you got people showing up at the business at 2 AM, they're showing up because they know there's still a party going on. That was as convincing as I needed to hear.
No, and I think that, you know,
This isn't, it's not really time for open discussion, because we have other hearings to get to. And again, I respect your time, and I respect everything you've credited, you stated today. So I would move to propose, just to be clear for the record, that Sunday, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m., entertainment. Monday through Thursday, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Friday, Saturday, 11 a.m. to 12 a.m. And the entertainment must stop at 12 a.m. And again, temporary.
so no TVs, nothing after 12?
I mean, I think the issue is the DJ amplifying music. I think
Yeah.
you're open to, you can have your TV on. I'm not, unless we have to specifically say that in the license, that the TV can sell. So I would keep this restriction to DJs, amplifiers, let me just look at the license itself. To karaoke, dancing by patrons, DJ, amplifying music. I just want to make sure I put all the, where's the, sorry, I'm just going to look for the language, I apologize, give me 1 second. So it does not include widescreen table TV or, what do they have, like a
Like a
jukebox,
iPod?
like a jukebox music. We're talking DJ, amplifying music, subwoofers, live bands, you know, what else is under that, the guise of that? Unless I covered it. That's where the restriction is. I mean, TV, radio is okay.
Can you give us a license with the restrictions that we're gonna have going
Well,
forward?
it'll be clearly spelled out on it.
Okay.
It'll be clearly spelled out on it. But again, that's what I moved to promote
Do
to
you
the.
have any questions on that?
I'm fine, I think it's a trial period. We have heard, you know, of the residents, we also want to support you guys too. It's, again, a trial period.
Okay.
Do you want to say something?
I would just like to ask for one more thing. Before the end of the night, could you have, whatever you have, a DJ or whatever, whoever is there, make an announcement that when they leave that restaurant, the car does not have the music blaring, because the cars are what's bothering the residents. Whoever you're gonna have, a band, whatever you're gonna have, just tell them, make an announcement throughout the night that once everybody is exiting the building, the restaurant, that they do not blare your radios in a parking spot, because that's waking up the residents.
We also have a security there that goes outside and clears the parking lot.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for the leeway.
I live on Oak Island, okay? I am not a business owner on the beach at all. It is the oldest public beach in the country. These people, you're building all these buildings around an establishment that has been there for about 20 or 30 years. I'm not sure the amount, okay? When they buy this place, they know where they're purchasing it. There's a restaurant near it. They should expect some, you know, some loud music. Now, I understand what this woman is saying, and she's very nice, of people, that's not on the restaurant's problem. It's the person's problem in their car. So I think you might be taking away business, tax city business, from these people who just want to have a restaurant, okay? That's all I want to say. I am not part of any kind of business there. I frequent the avenue, and most people along that beach, they do a great job.
When was Antonio's built? Do you know?
What's that?
When was Antonia's built? When was that building in there? Do you know? Well,
Yeah, I mean, it was a,
well, their building's been there since 1975. It's been there. I mean, so it's been there for a long time. It's been there for a long time. There is no argument.
Okay, thanks. All I'm saying is, when you purchase a building near a beach, a public beach with a lot of restaurants, a lot of clubs, you know what you're going into. It's like me buying a place near Fenway Park. You know you're going to get baseball, traffic and stuff. So I'm just saying that you shouldn't take away city tax dollars. I'm not here to start an argument, but I just think you're kind of handcuffing people. That's all. And I thank you for your time.
People have a right to live in peace.
I understand that.
If you had to go to work in the morning and you had to listen to booming bass.
Okay, so why do you buy a condo near a restaurant which has that kind of stuff?
Well, because it's not being run as a restaurant if they're pounding bass at 1:30 in the morning. It's being run as a nightclub, which is not what you bargained for when you moved next to a restaurant. So there are competing interests here, and we understand that. And that's what this hearing is to do, is to try and balance.
I agree with you,
as
sir.
best we can. No one wants to hurt the business, but by the same token, no one wants to have people who can't function with a quality of life that they're really entitled to.
Okay.
So trying to balance that is really what we're doing here.
And I agree, and it should be balanced. I understand that. But when you keep building all those buildings along there, there's going to be more people.
Well, that's
And,
an issue above our pay grade, sir.
Then what the heck are we doing here? I'm just trying to stick up for the establishments along the beach. Okay.
I appreciate that.
And I
Thank you
for
very
your
much.
time.
I think, we're just trying to stop. You can step back. What I would like to say for the record before we close this meeting, because obviously we have another hearing to get to. What I would like to say is this, like Rob said, like the chairman said, it's a balancing act. When we look at these hours, and we take in consideration the city of Revere, where we live, and the sense of community that we have, and we have a lot of blue collar folks. We have a lot of folks getting up at 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. To me, it just doesn't make sense. It simply defies all sensible logic that a business is going to stay open till 2 a.m. with an entertainment license. It just doesn't make sense to me. In this community, in some places that may be acceptable. Who knows? But I know, where I live, I have an issue with the ocean side. I deal with it too. I'm sitting here in front of you, but I deal with. I'm living at 500 Ocean, and I deal with the club literally behind my apartment. So I deal with it too, and I have to take consideration that you have residents here that are like, they're not trying to close Antonius. Their complaints, they're not bashing this business. They're saying, I want to get a good night's sleep. Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, come on. I mean, it's a balancing act. And this isn't closing the door, right? I mean, my motion hasn't even been approved. I don't know if the rest of the commission has it. But Fernando's been down this road before. And he's come out of it. And I fully suspect with Tony's involvement, Antonio's will be fine. We just have to show a little good faith to this community. And that's what I'm proposing.
Very good. Well, we have a motion to amend your entertainment license. And the motion is to amend the license Monday through Thursday from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. And that's for amplified music and things such as that. Friday and Saturday, 11 a.m. to 12 a.m. Again, amplified music has to end at 12 a.m. And Sunday, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. And that would be, that's the motion that's on the table. Do you want to second that?
I'll second that.
Very good. So your entertainment license has been amended. Okay, do you understand what we're talking about as far as, and like I say, if this doesn't work, we'll come back again and we'll squeeze it a little tighter. If it does work, then hopefully, you guys will make some adjustments to the restaurant. You will make some adjustments to the noise situation so we can abate some of that and maybe give some hours back, provided that, everybody is in a good place and you're able to work with the residents who deserve a quality of life. So that's going to be what we're going to do, okay?
TV's okay, right?
TV's okay.
And radio is fine. TV and radio is fine.
Yes.
So you could obviously still play music
You can
on a
s-
radio.
And you can still have your sports bar to the
Yeah.
sense of you can watch sporting events on the TV.
You could still operate. You just the DJ, the subwoofers, the bass. You have to figure that out.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, thank you very much, and we'll close this hearing.
Jesus, it's already 5 o'clock. I don't even think 4 Point Shannon's here.
Thanks a lot, sir, appreciate it.
Oh, there are you.
That's why I said, I didn't think it was going to be shorter than the other one.
I thought this was gonna be long. Yeah.
Okay, we are going to move to our next hearing, which is item number 10, Four Partners, Inc. No, I'm sorry, number 9 is Squire Revere LLC, DBA 4 Points by Sheridan, Boston Logan Airport Revere, 407 Squire Road. Stephen Merrill is the manager. This is a hearing into a failure to comply with mandated license requirements and inspection violations. Your name and address for the record, please, gentlemen.
Sure. My name is Steve. We are on, right? Yes. My name is Stephen Merrill. Address is 51 Prospect Street, West Newbury. Business address is 407 Squire Road in Revere.
Very good. And you, sir?
My name is Sal Texera, 94 King Street, business address 407 Squire Road, Revere.
Thank you very much.
Excuse me, Sally's our general manager at the property. I'm the vice president of operations for our company as well, so we're both here in tandem.
Appreciate you coming, gentlemen. Well, let's just start out. What's going on over there?
Well, we have some construction going on over there. And at one point, the fire department had asked us to change in the construction area from smoke detectors to heat detectors, because the smoke detectors, as happens, I think everywhere we do construction for the most part, they cover them up for a certain area for a certain amount of time in that particular area that they're working, because they'd be going off and the fire department would be there every 5 minutes. And then at nighttime, there's a supervisor that's responsible for making sure that they're taken off, and then the next morning when they start, they put them on and take them off. It's the same sort of thing. When the fire department came in, they noticed that they were on the smoke detectors, so they asked us to change out the smoke detectors to heat detectors. So this way here, you wouldn't have the same issue with a heat detector. Heat detector is about 130 degrees. It goes off because it basically senses large variations in temperature and obviously in the heat temperature, and then it activates, opposed to smoke and particles. So at the point we changed that over, we did that, and that's where we are now.
Okay. Well, at this point, the fire department has not given you a certificate of inspection. The fire department has not given you a certificate of inspection. And as a result, you are not in compliance with state law, which requires that in order to have a alcohol license and an in-holder's license, you must have a certificate of inspection. So at this point, I don't know what, what we can do. You don't have the certificates, you don't have the inspections. Do you have plans to get them? What?
Yes, we were inspected today by the fire department. A different inspector came to the property where we were. We were on property, and Sal was the supervisor on duty as far as construction goes. And when they inspected the property, we were supposed to get our certificate today and then come into you guys today, and we would have been fine.
Did you pass the inspection?
No, because there was a, as we're coming up here, Sal was telling me about it, there was a piece of plastic over the heat detector.
Oh, yeah, I see. Well, we have pictures of that. Can I ask you a question? So,
Yeah.
just to define the roles again for me. So you're the general manager.
Sal's the general manager.
General manager.
Yeah.
And you're the
Vice President of Operations for the company.
Vice President of Operations. I suspect you manage multiple, you oversee multiple properties, right?
Essentially, I do everything. I'll check people in during COVID. I mean, I was doing everything.
Do everything,
yeah.
but you're not really on site like that, so it really falls on him.
It does, well, yes.
How
but
long
I'm
has he
not
been with the
far away.
company?
I've been with the company for 12 years.
Not you, him.
Oh, Sal?
How long, Sal?
2 years.
2 years. Okay, so this is my issue.
2 years here, but more years.
Right, but I'm sure he has
It's
history,
proving
right?
your point even more.
Right. So here's the concern. Here's the concern. This is the third year that you guys have been essentially found to be conducting unpermitted construction at your property, meaning that you guys didn't seek the proper permits to do what you're doing. This is the third time.
I apologize. May I interrupt, sir?
Let me just state this for the record, and then you can obviously speak. And then I think, now that we had this, I see multiple pictures here with significant violations, things to be, seems like in significant disarray, that not only puts the building in itself in an extreme hazardous position, but also the patrons that obviously pay money to stay at this place, because obviously you're doing work on the 6th and the 7th floor, so I suspect that you have other floors open for business. And that's obviously a really big concern, that the fire department, as well as the building department, hasn't really given you their stamp of approval yet. So how come it took for this commission to summons you in, for you to kind of get the ball rolling with what you need to do? That's my question, and obviously you can make the comment that you wanted to make earlier.
It's a more than fair question, I would say, first of all. If I'm in your seat, I'd be asking the same questions, because sort of my job is to make sure that we're doing the right things across the board. As far as the permitting goes, the permitting we applied for and got recently, we've already had multiple floors renovated over there. So it's not like we just started renovating, and didn't have the permits. We did. We had to stop. We got busy, we had to stop, and then we had to re-permit. And not to use COVID, it's no excuse. I mean, the pictures, it's the bottom. The bottom line is our company grew, we have 90 hotels. Our company grew very substantially in a short period of time. And we have a lot of construction projects going on at the same time. And at this particular location, the right hand and the left hand, I guess, didn't cross the T's and dot the I's, thinking that the old permit was still good. They went in and started construction. I mean, you'd have to be not in business or just really silly to be in a hotel and start construction and think that nobody's going to walk by or come by, especially on Squire Road, right? So that's where it happened. And then when they came in to inspect for us to get our permit again, is when they found the fire detector covered.
Right.
And that's when they said, okay, we're just we're not letting you go any further here. We want to go to obviously a hearing. because we're going to hold up your liquor license and we're going to hold up your in-holder's license. That's where you guys all got involved.
Well, I mean, we could actually revoke or suspend it at this point. And here's the issue, right? As the vice president of operations, right? You have certain people that, you know, that you report to, right? That you consult with and that you have to answer to about certain projects that are going on, like at your many hotels. And then you have a general manager that's essentially overseeing a lot of this stuff that I suspect is making a lot of these decisions that he has to answer to you for.
Sure.
And when city officials come in and they see that a decision was made at your establishment to do something like this, right? That's a direct reflection of your general manager making a decision to do this. Because at the end of the day, right, you have a general manager in place for a reason, I suspect, right?
Sure.
And he's on premises to make sure that things are run accordingly and done the right way. And when you see some of the pictures that was taken at this establishment, I mean, you know, it's
May I
a,
take a look?
I mean, you could certainly you can finger through. This is what we received. You know, it's I just ask that you look at just the pictures, please. I have my personal notes on
Oh,
that.
yes,
but
no,
it's fine.
absolutely, sir.
Yeah.
No worries. Yep.
You know, this is what we're faced with here.
So maybe we address picture by picture? Is that
Sure.
okay? Okay. So stop.
There was 27 pictures from the fire department. They only gave us 9, just so you know. But go ahead. You can address.
So- Please go ahead.
Okay. So with the smokes, this one right here. So they just started renovation back up on the 6th, 7th floor today. So it was a miscommunication with the project manager and the workers that are up there on the floor. They didn't know that we had switched it over, so the project manager didn't tell them that it was switched over. So they thought we still had the old smoke detectors instead of the heat detectors.
So they thought that was the old one.
Yeah,
that
they
were
thought it was
covering
the
up.
old one. That's the only reason why they taped it up. So it was honest miscommunication. And I was actually downstairs with the inspector while they was prepping up the floor. They hadn't started working yet. They was prepping up the floor, and they had just started taping it up. It was around 9 o'clock, 9:30 in the morning when this happened. And as soon as I spoke to them, when we went up there, I explained to them, this is not supposed to be like that. It's now a heat, not a smoke. They took it down right away, but she said to stop the work, and we stopped the work completely.
What's the next picture?
That's the one. The next picture, which is this over here. This is our restaurant, which is currently closed. It's been closed for
Mr. Takey?
4 years now,
Yeah.
before I got there. So that entire part of the hotel needs renovation, or we're trying to lease it off or sell it to a third party. But that's where all these pictures, and we're actually using it for some of the storage room. That's all this stuff here.
So that's where all that stuff is.
That's all the
So
storage
no one's
rooms.
in there.
It's-
No
it-
patrons are walking through there.
Correct. So she just thought it was,
I
you
think
know,
she got.
too many
she got
stuff
hit, which
inside
I
of there.
understand.
I appreciate the clarification. I'm thinking that that's in the main.
No,
parcel.
that's not. This is all storage area that she went inside, and she said because if they
I implore you
needed to
walk
get through
the
there.
establishment.
Right.
I mean, it's
Everything's-
a 90 hotels, 15 Marriotts, we couldn't be in business.
Yeah.
22 Hilton hotels, we
Right.
couldn't be in business. The brand would shut us down.
Most of that stuff is stuff that we took out of the room, so we just using that area as temporary storage, but most of it's gonna go back into the rooms.
That makes sense.
But
I
I
mean-
think the main concern is the heat detector being taped up when it should have been. But again, that was an honest miscommunication between the workers and the project manager, but they are aware now that they do not need to do that.
And to your point, sir, there is obviously a hierarchy of reporting, but as you probably know, in hospitality, it's gotten a lot smaller. So I'm probably more involved than I ever have been since I was an executive chef 24 years ago. I'm always at the property. Sal's there every single day. You know, you have responsible people here that have been doing this for a long time. I mean, I stand in front of you as 56 years old, the 24th of this month. Sal's probably a little older than me, although he doesn't look it. We've been doing this for a long time. We take it seriously, and I understand. The last thing I want to be doing is sitting in front of you right now when I got to drive to Vermont, going through this piece right here. We do care. People make mistakes. It's not 3 years in a row that this has happened continuously. There was a gap. We grew. We came back after COVID. We have so many projects going on, and just not a lot of people. And you know, that's exactly what happened. I apologize for that, but that's just, there's no sugarcoating it. That's what happened.
So what happened with so why did it fail today again for the inspection?
Because of what you saw on page one
So,
there.
okay, so then once that's removed, you suspect that you'll be approved? Is that what you're saying? Is it, or there's other issues that still need to be addressed?
No, that's the
That's
only,
it?
that's it.
And when do they come back out?
That's a good question.
We'll have to schedule it. It
You
was
have to
just today
schedule.
that happened,
Yeah.
so I have to go back and email her, and then.
We just want them to come, we just want that time in between to do business. Like we employ over 90 people there.
Yeah, because I'll be honest with you. At least I was prepared to revoke.
And I understand that, I do. Being in your position, I absolutely understand that. I do. I'm the guy who has to come to this meeting and stand here in front of you and let you know, and you don't know me. You don't know me like the other guy that stood up here. You don't know that I grew up in East Boston right next door. You don't know that we're opening a hotel there, and I'm so proud to open that hotel pretty soon. You don't know that, Sal is from Brockton. We're blue-collar guys, Just because we come to you from a hotel does not mean that we don't know and aren't grassroots guys, This is what we do. To see something like this happen in one of our establishments, we have 90 hotels. Yeah, we grew in the last 5 years. After COVID, there was we had so many investors looking to buy properties where people were letting them go, like the one in Revere. That thing probably, I don't know what it would have been if we didn't take it over because it needed so much darn work to it. And that's the truth. I know, officer, I know you've been over there probably a few times. Unfortunately, more than a few times. And imagine if we're not running that place like the way we should be, what would be happening over there? We had drug rings when we first get in there. We had freaking prostitution when we first get in there. In the parking lots, we got people driving around the parking lots. We have our drivers that drive back and forth to the airport. We put the lights on the top so they look like security guards, so they prevent some of that stuff happening over there. I don't know if it always does, officer. I'm not saying that crime is down in the area or anything, but we're trying to. And lights on the building and so on and so forth. We're trying to light up the big sign again so it deters people even more because we know that well-lit places deter things from happening. And that's digging up the whole ground and so on and so forth.
How soon can, when you schedule them to come out, is it days or is it weeks? Does it take a while? So if you call them tomorrow to come back out and to re-inspect the place, how soon would you think they'll come out?
My goal is to go to the fire department in the morning.
Okay.
And talk to them. I talked to them when we first took over the property because I wanted to know what their expectations were and so on and so forth. So my goal is to go there in the morning, talk to them and hear them out, because they're gonna tell me, and ask them when we can reschedule to have them come out and take a look around. And even if they do it, I would implore them to do it at a time they don't even tell us. How's that? I would say, listen, if you want to do a surprise inspection, hopefully you give me a 2-week window, so we at least know that we can tell the board, right? And then you do a surprise inspection and come and you don't let us know, because it's kind of easy we still screwed it up and we knew they were coming, but it'd be harder to do it, to screw it up with, to pass by and show that we're doing the right thing if they just come in unannounced, like the health department does.
Well, sir, the bagging of the heat detector was just one of the issues that the fire department had a problem with. They also had a problem with mattresses, boxes, and fake Christmas trees piled up with no access to walk through a room or gain access to emergency exits. The basement rooms were filled with mattresses and TVs with no egress path to access for emergency purposes. They had storage of combustibles under the stairwell leading to the emergency exit. There was construction material blocking the FDC connection in the stairwell. There was an exit impeded by bins and laundry. There was a mattress set up for sleeping in the middle of the basement floor, multiple blocked exit signs, CO2 tanks in the basement unsecured, In the restaurant, there was also a water tank where a portion of the ceiling had fallen down with mold. It was almost unnoticed because of all the combustibles piled in the room.
May I address that, Mr. Silvestri?
I beg your pardon?
May I address that? What you just
Certainly.
said? So the areas they're talking about are mainly the restaurant. And what I would say is, how did we do that so quickly and screw that up so quickly if that wasn't there before? Either it wasn't noticed, or we probably upset somebody that walked through and found everything they possibly could, understandably, at that point, because they felt like it was been 3 years.
Well,
'Cause-
I
'cause
mean, finding
I'm
what
just-
what they could, that's their job.
No, I understand that, but they were there just a couple of months ago. So, I mean, either we really just started throwing things around in that place for the last 2 months and didn't care with the same general manager and same VP, or some of those things were there because they weren't a problem before, but they are now, is what I'm saying. Addressing the problems themselves is the heat detector. The other areas, if you were to come by and look, are in the restaurant that is closed. There doesn't need to be a means of egress through the restaurant that's closed. Yes, and storage rooms. I mean, you know, understandably, the fire department is upset. But they've been there multiple times, and this has never been any issue. But we'll still address them.
Well, I mean, I would hope so.
Absolutely, yes.
I mean, a blocked emergency exit, regardless of where it is a blocked emergency exit, and it needs to be unblocked.
Understood, sir, but the restaurant is locked, so there's really nobody that can go into that area and access it. It's a non-accessible area, so nobody should be in there in the first place. It's like the storage rooms as well. They're downstairs. You know, they're areas that aren't accessible to guests.
Are the mattresses in the restaurant?
The mattress, I'm not sure as far as the mattress.
In the restaurant and in the storage area, so.
How about the CO2 tanks?
The CO2 tanks, I'm going to assume, but maybe I'm wrong, are probably downstairs. And that is probably a very common occurrence that they do have to be chained up. I see that happen a lot of times in restaurants that I've run and in hotels as well. So that's definitely something, I mean, we're going to address it all, but that's definitely something that can be addressed right away.
Well,
for the restaurant.
what is your proposal, sir?
We would just like some time to work with the fire department and to see if we can have them come back out and inspect at their time that they'd want to. And in between, we would take the measures that you would request we do and the fire department requests that we do to move forward. I mean, I think that's the only path that we're looking for, is to move forward. I understand that there was some mistakes made there, but I'm not justifying that. But at the same time, I do feel like we can rectify them very quickly. And we're really talking about the fire apparatus being blocked more than.
Well, we're really talking about the certificate of inspection.
Yes, sir.
So whatever is going to be required for you to get that, that's going to be what is going to
Correct.
be necessary.
Yes, sir. And as I said, we will address them
Unblocking that
all.
thing may just be one aspect of a bigger situation.
Yes. I think, you know, to your point, sir, when I say we're going to address it all, I think, you know, again, tomorrow we get a dumpster in and we clean out the restaurant and we get everything out of there. And take the pictures as face value, whether it was an issue before or not. And just, it's in everybody's best interest that we probably do it anyways.
How many people you have staying at the at the hotel? If you can give me an
Estimate? Sal would know better, but I know we're running probably about a 30% occupancy, sometimes 40, where it's a slower time of year. We have more cars being parked at the hotel than with like Park and Fly, but
About 91 rooms. right
yeah.
now. So 91 rooms and then,
so, you know, we've dealt with issues like this with multiple, not multiple, but other businesses such as yours. And usually, when this type of construction is being done, we're trying to understand why if you're operating about 30% capacity, why not just shut down and just get everything right, get your appropriate inspections done and reopen when you guys are ready to reopen. Why not just shut down? Why not just shut down the restaurant? I mean, the hotel until you get everything?
Through the years that we've had the hotel has not performed very well, quite frankly. It's needed a renovation, and we've been successful on many, many, many occasions on balancing both. It's usually not a problem. Most hotels don't close unless they do a full renovation all at once. In fact, I don't know of many that actually do. If you think about it, probably even in Riviera all down the stretch, none of them really close. But I do understand what you're saying. It would be easier, but it's still, $10,000, $20,000 sometimes a week that pay the bills on the loans that are there. Then you need to take out a construction loan as well. You go to the bank and take out a construction loan, and you have that piece as well. And all of that is still obviously coming in on a monthly basis. It's a big building, but it's still a small business in the sense that just like anybody else that's here, you still need the money to pay the bills on a monthly basis. It's an independent.
What are your thoughts on a fire detail?
As far as having a fire department person on property,
Yes,
until
until you get the inspection certificate,
So-
until we have a working system to warn in the event of fires.
Sure. I mean, if that's what needs to be imposed, I think, it's a thought in the right direction. We have had fire details where we've had a dedicated associate on property, because a lot of times the fire department doesn't have an extra person to put on. We would definitely entertain that and have that person have crowd management control training and such. Does that make sense?
Yeah, well, it does make sense to have someone dedicated to the idea of fire prevention. I mean, I would be more comfortable with a firefighter who, obviously has got experience, so if something does happen, they're able to deal with it relatively quickly and have direct communication with the fire department. I don't know the availability of that, but I would think that might be something that we could entertain, because otherwise you are not in compliance.
Sure.
And you are at a situation where you're in violation of the law as far as the licensing goes. And so if we were to mitigate some of the safety concerns, I would think that may help get us.
What are your thoughts as far as a fire watch? Would you need that 24 hours? Would it be on the overnight hours?
I can imagine what the cost would be associated with that.
That's what I'm trying to, I mean, at that point, we might have to close.
Well, I'll tell you this. Look, as we stand today, the building department, as well as the fire department, as I understand, issued a cease and desist, so you can't necessarily do any you can't do anything work right now.
Yeah, we're not-
And you're meeting with them tomorrow, so you can't do anything right now anyway, until you get kind of like
Some guidance.
them on the same page,
Yeah.
and they could give you the green light to start working again, right?
Sure.
I personally think that we need to table this, because depending on how that meeting goes with the building department and the fire department, kind of will give us an idea of how we need to move with their license going forward. Because they're at a cease and desist, they can't do any reservation, they can't do anything at this point now anyway.
Yeah, we uncovered the smokes already, so that was the major concern, was the smokes being covered. We've already uncovered that. There's nobody working on the floors, both floors, everything has been stopped. We're gonna clean up, I'm actually gonna take personal responsibility, making sure those rooms are cleaned up, which is the major issue, was those rooms being blocked off. So I'm gonna have my guys move those stuff out of the way. Some of it will probably just throw out in the dumpsters. It's mostly old stuff that was in the room. So I'm gonna get involved in that, make sure we clear some of that up. By next week, we can have all that stuff, all set and have a new inspection. I'll schedule that with the
I
fire
would-
department and have them come back out, because the building inspection went fine. We passed the building inspection, it's just a fire, which was the last piece that was supposed to happen today. that day.
I was just going to jump on that as well and say that today's Wednesday, we'll have it done by Friday.
So is there a fire alarm system in there now?
Yes, sir. Yep, fully working fire alarm system. Everything works, it's just covering that was not the right
Monitor
idea.
24 hours by Centas, so it's fine. The major issue was they just covered that piece.
We haven't had any issues with, like I said before, we haven't had any issues when we're in operational hours without construction. It's just, well, we had construction, this happened, and it set off a course of actions, which, again, I understand.
All right, well, I would, since there is a working fire alarm, there is a cease and desist, I guess, tabling this thing for 30 days, come back next month, and we'll see where we are. And hopefully by then, you guys will have your certificates, and we can dismiss this and move forward.
We appreciate that, and I think that's a good move on our part to give everything we need to get done as well.
All right, well, thank you, gentlemen. We'll
Thank
table
you.
this for 1 month.
Yep.
And we'll see you back here on March 15th.
Thank you.
No, March 19th, right?
Thank you. I want to
Thank you.
I appreciate your time.
Yes.
How old are you, by the way?
Thank you.
It's like, yeah, I was, he can't be older than 40. He said he's older than him. I'm like, no way.
He always says that I look good.
Nah, dude, I'm like, no way.
We'll take you all this stuff.
Okay, well, thank you, gentlemen. Good luck, and we'll see you next month. That concludes the hearings. The next items on the agenda are communications. From the Massachusetts Alcoholic Beverage Control Commission, notice of return of no action for a change of manager, change of officer, director, issuance, and transfer of stock application, excuse me, for 4 partners, DBA Antonia's at the Beach. Another communication from Massachusetts Alcoholic Beverage Control Commission, approval of a new malt wine restaurant license for K. Arepa Corporation, DBA K. Arepa, and another communication from the Massachusetts Alcoholic Beverage Control Commission regarding the approval of a change of manager for Revere Restaurant Group, Inc., DBA Tio Juan Margaritas Mexican Restaurant. That concludes the communications. The next items are license renewals, and we have several license renewal common victulars. Cafe Monte Cristo, DBA Monte Cristo Mexican Grill, F&J Juice Bar Cafe, Inc., 76 Shirley Ave, Mass Trips, Inc., DBA Esquite, 194 Shirley Ave, Mass Trips, Inc., DBA Revere Beach Pizzeria, 180 Shirley Avenue, Queen Associates, Twist and Shake, 82 Revere Beach Boulevard, the Delta Hellenic Company, LLC, DBA Revere House of Pizza, 354 Broadway. We also have Class 1 motor vehicle dealer, Black Marble Motorcycle, DBA Boston Harley Davidson, 649-1 Squire Road. Class 2 motor vehicle dealer, Atlantic Auto Body, Inc., 529 Broadway. Charlie's Auto Exchange, Inc., 655 North Shore Road. We have an entertainment at Cafe Monte Cristo, Inc., DBA Monte Cristo Mexican Grill, 364 Broadway, and a parking lot license for Park and Go, DBA Park and 44 Railroad Station. And those licenses are approved. The next item would be the motion to adjourn until March 15th, I'm sorry, March 19th.
So moved. Second.
Do you have a second?
I'll second that.
Very good. The meeting is adjourned.